So much. Okay, you can make space for yourself peacefully. There is a lot of space. There is a lot of huge hall. You can spread out also a little bit, if you wish to. Okay. So we'll recite a few shlokas traditionally as we start a Ramayana, a class on Ramayana. We first recite a few verses. So please recite this after me. Oh, it's all given there. Shuklam Varadaram Vishnu Shashi Varnam Chaturbhujam Sarva Vignopashantaye Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam Sri Ramam Shankaya Chacharuntam Yena Guru Nama Krishna Krishna Swami Saraswati Vaidacharya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Vaidagandhara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. So everyone can actually raise our hands and chant this mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate gurum yatkripatamaham vande shrigurodevatarinam. Hare Krishna. Can you please increase the volume just a little and also the treble if possible? Please, just a little. 8%, please. Okay, so today we have a very important festival in the Vedic tradition. So if we can keep our mobiles on silent, please. So the mobiles are like the crying babies. They'll cry anytime. Only difference is the babies still can be controlled. The mobiles are out of control, right? But loud means so you can keep your mobile in the silent. It will be very useful for the next few minutes, which I'll discuss on Lord Ram's Leela. So the Treta Yuga, Lord Rama, who appeared in this world for a very important purpose. Of course, in every millennium, Yada Yada Dharmasya Glani Bhavati Bharata, he says. Lord Krishna says that he appears every millennium. For what purpose? For establishing the Dharma. And there are many, many incarnations. There are many avatars which the Lord takes. But the avatar of Lord Ram is very special. So he has a Soumya Rupam. Like Narsimha has a Ugra Rupam. You see Narsimha, oh my God, so fierce eyes. His teeth are coming, out. The man is so ferocious. Look like that. If somebody has any evil desires, that person will become totally fearful. If somebody is like Prahlad Maharaj, he will become so affectionate towards the Lord. But we say Ugraham, right? But Lord Rama, so there are other avatars, Matsya, Kurma, Vamana. Every avatar has a particular purpose when they come in this world. Lord Rama has come in a very somber routine, complexion. It's exactly like us, you and me, two-arm form, a very beautiful form of this. What did he want to do by coming in this Rama avatar? Has been explained in the various scriptures. One of the things which he wanted to do was to teach the Varnashram Dharma to the people. Lord Rama is also called as Eka Patni Vrata Dharo. Eka Patni Vrata. Those are the days when in the Treta Yuga, the Kshatriyas would marry more than one wives also. His own father, Dasharatha Maharaj, was having two wives prominently. But Lord Ram took the vow of Eka Patni Vrata, and despite opportunities, despite facilities, and despite all the test of time, Lord Rama always stood firm on his vow of Eka Patni Vrata. He's teaching us how to be a good husband. In fact, an ideal husband, in fact, the perfect husband. He teaches us how to be an ideal king also. Although he has so much of love towards his own wife Sita, however, when it came, there is call of duty that we need to set a right example for the society. The leader of the people should be beyond any doubts. And when Lord Ram saw that people are still doubting Sita, although she had gone through the Agni Pariksha, yet the people are doubting. So, despite having all the love and affection towards Sita, despite silently crying tears and affection for Sita, he still took a stand that he sent Sita away from him. That was a sacrifice. Most of us, we do not know that leadership is not something which we can enjoy. Leadership is a very big responsibility which demands personal sacrifice. And Lord Ram was not the one who would go away from the highest sacrifice possible for a person. His own beloved, Sita, whom he loved so much, is now being separated from him to set the character of the ideal king. That is his greatest sacrifice which he did for humanity. So he is the ideal king. Then he is the ideal son. One day before he is being coronated. And the next day in the morning, he is being told, no. And he knows it. He has no attachment to it. So I'm just summarizing some things now, and then later I'll elaborate few pastimes. But just to set the tone that what is Lord Ram teaching us? So he showed us how to be an ideal son. He taught us how to be an ideal husband, an ideal leader or a king. All the ideal virtues you will find in Lord Rama. In fact, that is why Ramayana started with this question. Valmiki Rishi had a question. Who is the perfect human being having 16 qualities described in the scripture? So therefore, with this question in the heart, he is approaching Narada. And the Narada and the Valmiki Samvad later became what we call today as Ramayana. So in the reply came the perfect person is none other than Sri Ram. Sri Ram is the one who is the perfect person anointed with all the 16 qualities. So therefore, the journey of Ram has been explained in Ramayana. So for us human beings, Lord Ram has set certain ideal character that we can actually learn a lot from his life. And that's what will be our focus today. But before I just begin the Leela, I'll speak first something about Tattva. Is Lord Ram? So is Lord Ram an ordinary person? So you can see the slides are also there along. Is Lord Ram an ordinary person? Definitely he is not an ordinary person. He performs extraordinary leelas. He has killed big Rakshasas when he was a small child. So definitely he cannot be an ordinary person. But is he simply some extraordinary person? Okay, not ordinary, simply some extraordinary person. He is not even an extraordinary person. He is actually in a completely different category. He is not a jiva. He is not a jiva. He is Bhagavan, Vishnu Tattva. All of us are controlled by Maya Shakti of the Lord. That is why we enter in this material world because we had some karma. Whereas Bhagavan enters in this material world not because he has karma. It is because he just wants to perform certain leela. So how many of us we have chosen our mother and father? Have you chosen your mother and father? Before your birth, you said, my father should be Bill Gates so that I can be very rich. Can you choose? You cannot. Or I will be born in this country, I will be born in this place, I will be born in this time. Can you choose? You can't choose. Karmana daiva netrena jantu deho papattaye, it is said. That actually the karma is binding the human being and therefore is pushed inside the womb of a lady. Of course, if he is fortunate to be a human, otherwise in the womb of another species. Right? Yeah. So therefore, our karmas control our birth. We have been given a father, we have been given a mother because of certain karma. And our mother and father's economic status defines the start of our life. Somebody is born with a silver spoon in the mouth, billions of rupees and dollars in his account. Another person does not even 2 meals to eat also, starting from the childhood. Why? Karmana daiva netrena jantu dehopapattaya striya pravishtodaram. It is said that he has been given a breath according to the previous life karma. Whereas Ramachandra, he decides his father. His father will be Dasharatha Maharaj. He decides his mother. Kaushalya Maharani will be his mother. He decides the place to descend. Ayodhya. He decides the time. Treta Yuga. All this is what he decides. It is his decision to come inside this world. Akbar was a bit, confused about why do avatars come. So he started discussing with his, with Birbal. He said, my dear Birbal, I am not able to understand why God has to come in this material world. I think it's all fiction. I don't believe it. I am not one who believes that God comes in this world. These are all stories. We can't believe on it. Otherwise, why will he come? This is such a horrible place. God should not come in such a horrible place. So much of suffering. Please come, sit down. Yeah. We can assure everyone, we can comfortably sit. Can I open this all tube lights, etc.? Whatever best possible, you can open. All open. Fine. All right. So, Buddha was saying, it's not like that, my dear Akbar. Actually, God comes by his own desire. But Akbar was not ready to believe. He said, no, I don't believe. It's just your fiction. It's just you believe. He should not come here. Why should he come personally? There is no need for him to come to personally. I don't agree with this. Then Birbal said, okay, sir, I'll give the answer to this question sometime later. Some days passed, summers came, June month, very hot. And at that time, Birbal told to Akbar, you can take a joy ride in the river. There's a river nearby, let's go with your family, we'll have a boat ride. Boat mein ride karenge, chalo aa jao. And Akbar came with all his family members, his queen, his servants, big santris, ministers, bodyguards, and also his small children. Akbar came with his family. He was there in the river joyride. The joyride started. The boat ride started. The river was very huge. So that slowly the boat moved to the middle, the center portion of the river. And at that time, Birbal did something which nobody could imagine. He picked up the youngest child, the smallest child, the son of Akbar. He was very small. Akbar was not at all worried. Why? Because Birbal is his own servant, confidential associate. So he allowed him to pick up. But at last, what happened next? He actually throws a small child inside the river. The child is down inside, drowning. Small baby, just 2 years, 3 years old. He could not swim in any way. Seeing this, all the ministers that took out their sword almost they were ready to kill Birbal. If not Birbal, they would have actually killed him by now. And now they were looking at how to save the child. But Akbar himself took out his own clothes and he himself went inside, jumped inside the water to save his child. And after doing all that, what was required to save the child, he was heading to the river side. The boat also reached the river side. And he took Birbal to account. What is he not doing? Sir, why did you do so? And then Birbal said, Sir, actually, you only asked me a question, right? I am only replying you. Really? He's given away to reply a question? What was the question? So you told, right? That God does not come in this world. It's all fiction. He should not be coming in this world. I can't believe it. Why should he come personally? The same thing which happened over here, right? Can I ask you a question? He said, yes, of course. Tell me, what is it? He said, my dear Akbar, when your child was drowning, you had so many ministers, you had so many servants, so many soldiers, all of them. Why didn't you ask any one of them to enter inside the water to save your child? Why is it that you personally went inside? He said, oh, he's my son. I was saving. I was just sure that others will be able to save him. No, we are all good. We are capable. I'm very sure. How can you take the risk? Don't try to personally enter inside the water to save my child. And then Birbal said, sir, exactly for the same reason. Swayam Bhagavan comes inside this Mrityu Samsar Sagar to save his own children. He does not take any risk. He personally enters inside to save the drowning children of his own and to protect them and to bring them out of this Mrityu Samsar Sagar. This is the reason the Lord descends in this world. And now Akbar was so clear. And he said, please don't answer my questions in this style. Your, your style of answering the question is quite, quite dangerous. Please don't do it next time. I will have to think twice before asking a question, Akbar said. So this is the reason. My dear devotees, Lord Rama appears in this world so that we can go out of this world. So that we can be saved from the Mrityu Samsara Sagar. And he personally comes. This is his compassion, his karuna. He is actually karuna to all the people, the jivanas of this world. He enters in this world because we have karma. Bhagavan enters in this world because he has karuna. You understand? We enter in this world because we have karuna. And Bhagavan enters in this world because he has karuna. Yes, karuna, compassion for all of us. That's the reason he enters. He is in a different category. He's not the. And what is the proof? The proof is this story of Ratnakar, which is given right there in the Ramayana. So if we have to accept Ramayana, if we have to accept Lord Ram, then we have to accept the entirety of Ramayana. You can't just take one from. So the beginning of the Ramayana itself, he explains this Valmiki Rishi who was writing this story. He was none other than a dacoit, whose name was Ratnakar. Such a dacoit that if he did not get the money from them, if he tried to twice to actually kill them. Such a cold-hearted dacoit he was. So one day Narad was passing through that forest where Ratnakar was living. Ratnakar was hiding above on the top of a branch of a tree, hiding that when somebody comes here, I will be jumping on them. and then I will be voting their money. So therefore, Nagmani was transcendently chanting the holy names of the Lord, right? And he was passing through that forest. And when Ratnakar saw, he saw, oh, he's an effulgent sage. He seems to be so rich. He seems to be so happy. He seems to be somebody who, if I loot this one person, I don't have to loot anybody for next 1 year. It's a jackpot come on my way. So let me just go and loot him. And then he pounces on Narad and he binds him with the ropes. And then he says, oh, dear sage, I am Ratnakar. Give me all your riches and I'll give you with your life. Or else, if you don't go, I will kill you and take away the riches from your dead body. Decide what you have to. Now there was not at all fearful. He was so silent and debonair. And he said, my dear boy, Ratnakar, why is it that you have to harm me? I don't remember in the past I have done anything wrong for you, would you? Then why is it that you have to harm me anyway? Oh, sage, this is the first time somebody is speaking like this in front of my dagger. But inside your heart and then that's another thing you feel like your son. And I'm just surprised that why do you do such activities? Oh, Narada, don't speak so much. I'm a family man after all. I'm a family, I'm a wife, I'm a children. I can live in my family. I don't any other profession. So therefore, this is my profession, professional thief. I am the proprietor of the jungle. I am the professional thief. So, in order to sustain my family, I have to do this. Narada, you don't know. Narada replied, do you know how many sins you are doing by this simple activity? By killing the people who are innocent and losing their money on the way? So much sinful karma is coming in your life. And you will have to suffer that one karma. And when Narmani, by his own power, showed what is going to be in the future, in his future lives, he has to suffer so badly. And then when Ratnakar saw that, he said, oh my God, so much of suffering I have to get. But I was doing all of this for my family. And Nanda said, well, you were saying that you are doing this for family, but are your family members going to also take some portion of this suffering? Are they going to take some equal portion of this? And Ratnakar said, of course, I think so. They should be. They have enjoyed all the riches which I gave them. They should also suffer when I will be. I said, oh, really? Do you think so? Why don't you go and ask them? Anyway, you have bound me. I can't go anywhere. So I was stuck up here only. I'll stand here. You go and ask. Take your own time. Ratnakar went express highway fast. Okay. Reached his home, not the door. He asked his wife, hey, you know, correct? At least half the sin you will be taking, right? Narada told me that I have to suffer so much in the next life. You will be taking half, right? Isn't it? And all of you kids, well, I did everything for you, you know. So also you must be taking my sins, right? At least some of you, no? 25%. Imagine you have to inherit full property from your father, all those sins. Bapre. Are you ready? So the children discuss with each other, they discuss with the mother, and they replied back, Daddy, why? It is so dirty to us. We are not children. We are dependent on you. It should be actually provide for us. But did we ask you to kill somebody? Did we ask you to loot anyone? We didn't ask you, right? So it's your own choice. So therefore, why should we take the part of your sins? We are not going to take. Hari bol, Hari bol. We are not taking it. And then that marker was like, my God, what was I doing to you? So much of sins I was doing. And then these people are ready to take it. And then they went back. Then they come another. And he said, oh, Nanaji, I suffered so much. None of my family members are ready to take any of these sins. But what is the upay? What are you to do? He said, Narada said, my dear boy, don't worry. There is one solution I can give you which can remove all your suffering right now itself. All your sins will go away. And Ratnakar said, yes, sir. Please tell me, what should I do? What should I do? And so all you have to do is very simple process. And what is that process? You have to chant the Ram. Just repeat after me. Ram. Everyone, Ram. Just have to do this very simple chanting of the names of Ram. And Ratnakar, he was so sinful, he would chant the names of Ram. He was trying to chant the names of Ram. All of you are very pious people, all of you are chanting the names of Ram, right? He was so sinful, he could not speak up. And then I thought, oh my God, oh my God. Even the names of God he is not able to chant. Okay, the device a mechanism. And he said, okay, I'll do one thing. Chant the name of Ram, but you know, there is one thing which you can do. What you can say? At least you can chant Mara. Can you say Mara? Of course, every day I do that, you know. That's my profession. I kill people. I can do Mara. The people continuously chanting Mara, Mara, Mara. I can do that. And then Ratnakar said, okay, sir. Mara, 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 and that's how he started chanting the Ram. Imagine the sinful past of this person. Short sin he had done. But by the instruction of the Narada, this man chanted the names of Ram. And as he chanted the names of Ram, he started becoming purified. He intensely chanted for a long time actually, meditated on the names of Rama. And as he chanted the names of Rama, he became totally purified. And this is the person who became the Valmiki Rishi. Imagine what he was and what he became, Valmiki. He is the one who is now writing the Ramayana, this whole story is being written by the Ramayana of Valmiki, Valmiki Rishi. So therefore, my dear gentlemen, my dear ladies, my dear gents, please understand this, that this Rama is not a human being. He is not someone like you and me. If I chant your name, I will get rid of my sins, will I? No. But if you chant the Ram, all the sinful activities, whatever we did in the past, will be forgiven. So he is not a jiva or a human being. He is a Bhagavan, he is Vishnu Tattva. This is what this story proves. It also proves the power of chanting the Ramanam. So therefore, the unfortunate person who will not accept this all purifying process of chanting of the name of the names of God. Okay, so with this background, Bhagavad Gita says this. You can recite this verse also. I'll try to maybe just magnify a little more. Yeah, now it's very big, right? So please recite this verse also. Bhagavad Gita therefore speaks about Ram's incarnation and says, please recite, Avajananti Mamu Manashantanamashritam So he says, Krishna says, when I descend in my human like form, those who are unaware of my transcendental nature, they deride me and think me to be like a common man, whereas he is not. He is transcendental supreme Lord Bhagavan. With this understanding of Lord Rama, the Vishnu Tattva and Bhagavan, let us recite a few pastimes of the Lord. I will be narrating from the place where Dasharatha Maharaj, okay, Dasharatha Maharaj in the Ramayana, he got very particular. Let me recite from there. Okay. So we'll be just a few small narration how what happened in the Ramayana actually. I'll be speaking about this Leela. And as I'll be speaking of this Leela, we'll also be learning some beautiful lessons. Okay, very good. Please note that the already the background is that Lord Rama is not a human being. Actually, Bhagavan himself who descended in this world to teach us the Varnashram Dharma, the Dharma path. Okay, so one day, Dasharatha Maharaj is extremely worried. That is because of his life. He was looking out from a window. There are various versions of Ramayana also. In various versions, this has been described in a different way. In one version of Ramayana, it describes that Dasharatha Maharaj was sitting in his court and he happened to see a mirror. And as he happened to see the mirror, he looked at his gray hairs And when he looked at his grey hairs became very tense. In another version of Ramayana, it says, Dasharatha Maharaj was looking out from the window. As he was looking out from the window, he saw at his kingdom Ayodhya. And then it occurred to him that he has been reading from long time. A long time has passed as he has been reading. And he started thinking about how many battles has he done, how much valorous activities he has performed, and he realized that he has become very old. In another, further in this Ramayana says, Raj went and he slept. But as he was sleeping, he started getting various dreams. And in the dream, there was a person who was chasing him. Joseph was running. The person was chasing him from behind. Who was he? He does not know. He's just running. It's just inside the dream. He was running. As a king, he was not at all afraid. But when he's inside the dream, he finds himself running. And he's running on the streets of Ayodhya. And somebody, the thumping sound, is coming from behind him. He's not afraid. He just runs. And he recognizes that this is the street of India. This is the place I was born from. It does not know. That thumping sound from the back is sounding so loud. But he just wants to run further. He's afraid. He doesn't want to be caught. He just runs further. Runs the door. He wants to go inside, take shelter of this house. He recognizes, "Arey, this is the grounds in Ayodhya of the citizens. Where are the citizens? What is there? I will do something. It's only Dasharatha. He's running everywhere. Somebody open the door. The sound from behind. It's just coming near and near. The person who is saying he does not know. He just runs. This is Ramayana speaking. He runs. And then he is into the toilet. I mean, I will escape if I just take this left turn. The left turn. One approaches him from behind and touches him. And then he realizes it's the car. It was the car which was caught. Dasharatha. And now Dasharatha is so fearful. Oh, she starts throwing his hand and legs in all the direction. He doesn't want to be caught by this Parshani crowd. And in this family, takes out the different, his hands and legs. But actually, he was down, sleeping on a bed. His leg is a particular vase or flower pot, and the vase falls. Sound, thudding sound comes, and the son makes a sweating. Someone realizes of us is still afraid, and one part of it is thanking. He's thanking that it was just a dream. I'm still alive. And then he realizes, why is he so afraid? Why is he so anxious? It's giving him so much of anxiety. The thudding sound of that vase which fell brought in the soldiers inside to protect their king. And then within the king is the one supposed to give protection to everyone. But then the king is himself afraid. Even in the flesh of their king in the dead of the night, the servants realized that the king is having some anxiety. So they better thought the king alone going outside. Dasharatha was not able to sleep that night. The sleep was so far away. He was just so much in anxiety. The thought of that which happened in the dream was just chasing him again and again. It was just coming back again and again. He was so afraid. And in that time of being fearful, remembers his one son, four sons. As you know, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan. And as if thought that he has four hands. These four sons of his were like his four hands. But out of all of them, the one who was most dear to him was Lord Rama. And so therefore, in this time of anxiety, he remembers his son Ram, and the anxiety went away. 23 days ago. And then he's unable to wait. He wants to go and meet his son Ram. But it's dead of the night. He's waiting for the sun to come up, but the sun is not coming up soon. And he's just waiting impatiently. Finally, the sun comes up. It's a morning. Immediately, he dresses up himself and comes out. And he wants to go and meet Ram in a different palace. He just goes out. He's on the way sitting on his elephant. All these different, the people on the street, Ayodhya Vasis, they look at the king and they bow down. But in the mind of the king, actually the king is feeling a lot of anxiety. He's feeling a lot of different time at this point of time. And so therefore, he's not know what he should do. He's praying to the devatas. He's giving some help. I'm helpless right now. I'm just so much anxious. And then he goes, instead of going directly to Lord Ram's meeting, he takes a detour and goes to worship a family deity of Lord Ranganath. Lord Ranganath ji was the family deity in the Ikshvaku dynasty, which was given to him to worship. Actually, this deity was given to Brahmaji, but Brahmaji gave it to in the Ikshvaku dynasty, and therefore it came to Dasharatha Maharaj. This Ranganath deity currently is in Srirangam, which is in the south. But previously it was being worshipped in the Ayodhya by Dasharatha and all the previous kings in the Ikshvaku dynasty. So when they worshipped Ranganathji and then went directly to the king and he sat on his throne. Actually, he would come much later, but this was the day when he came much earlier. Actually, before him, many of his ministers had arrived, and as Dasharatha would enter inside, they would be chanting several vows and prayers, the different mantras in Sanskrit, to welcome him inside. But on this day, he was alone. He came the first. It was too early to come in the court, but he was there sitting. Immediately, he gave orders that all the important people of his kingdom should be immediately summoned. They all came. The different ministers, the Bhagwan priest, spiritual master, the Vashish Rashi, all of them were brought. He gave summon to so many people, and they were all coming. But Ramayana tells that he forgot to summon two important people in his life. He called everybody, but he forgot out of his anxiety two important people. Thinking that these two people cannot come quickly because the kingdoms are a little far away. However, they had to play a very important role in the life of the ship. The first thing of them which he forgot to do was Janak Maharaj, the father of Sita. He forgot to summon him and call him. But please come, I need some advice from you. And the second was the brother of Kaikeyi, the maternal uncle of Janak Maharaj, his own son Bharat. Right? The maternal uncle, that means the Mamaji, the brother of Kaikeyi. His name is Ratnakar. So he forgot to call these two people out of his anxiety. Everybody else came. And now everybody was sitting in front of Dasharatha Maharaj. And Dasharatha Maharaj starts speaking to them. He said, my dear friends, my dear ministers, I have been worrying from very a long time. A time has passed as I've been ruling this kingdom. And I've given service to this kingdom. And he started speaking about it, but the, the mantra which he had to rule the kingdom was always to keep the interests of the kingdom, always to keep the interests of the citizens higher than his own personal interest. He said, this is the way I rule this kingdom. But now the time is going, and I am having a worry. But I have become so old that I may not be able to protect this kingdom anymore. And therefore, says something very beautiful. So this is a photo you can see of all the different ministers. Vashishtha is there. Vamadev, another of his priests, is also there. All the different ministers, and he's taking an advice from them. I want to tell you one particular statement that Dasharatha mentions. In Ramayana, a good statement of Dasharatha is there. Let us know what he speaks. Very beautiful, a very important statement for all of this. He's expressing his anxiety, telling that I have become very old, and therefore I want some permission from all of you. And what is it? Let us see. He says, Dasharatha says, a king is called Maharaj, but also a renunciate is also called as Maharaj. Why both of them have addressed as Maharaj only? Because the king has conquered the enemies outside. That is why he is called Maharaj. Whereas a renunciate has conquered the enemies inside. And that is why he is called as Maharaj. And he further says, I am a king outside, but actually I am a prisoner inside. While I have still some vitality left in my body, let me focus now on conquering the enemies inside. And this is what he's asking the advice from all his ministers in his post. That means I want to retire now because till now I was so busy in conquering the enemies outside that actually I have become a prisoner inside. I have no control over the enemies which are inside. What are those inside enemies which he's talking about? And what is the lesson which we can learn from this? This is right there in the Ramayana. So the Ramayana says these six enemies or the atma of the soul are Kama, Krodh, Lobh, Mad, Moha, and Matsarya. If you remember, I have a very easy formula to remember in English. Lag, lag, PIE, pi. So if you have to remember the six enemies which are inside, you have to simply remember lag, pi. LAGPIE. Pi is that formula, in mathematics you use that pi, right? So PIE, pi. What is L? L stands for lust, calm. A stands for anger. G stands for greed. P stands for I stands for illusion, moha. And E stands for envy, matsar. So these are the six enemies. My dear devotees, as you come here, let's reflect on our current state today. Today, the society values so much when you conquer something outside. People are so busy to just expand their business. People are so busy to just expand their financial income. They want to get more and more money. They want to increase their salary. They want to conquer something outside. They want to expand their properties. They want to expand their degrees. Something outside is what they want to control. But when we do all of these things, what is the state of our inside? Aren't we also affected by these six enemies? Now, if the six enemies are going to sit inside our own hearts and conquer our heart completely, tell me what is the possibility of any of us becoming happy? If these six enemies reside inside your heart, what is the possibility that all of us can ever become happy by whatever we do outside? Even if we conquer the entire world, six enemies are making us a prisoner inside our heart. And so therefore we always become a slave of these six enemies. Kama, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Maya, and Matsarya. Then what's the fun? Because we can never be happy unless we have controlled these six enemies. So therefore, Dasharatha Maharaj, he actually speaks that I should be conquering these six enemies inside of me. And I need time for it. You see, it takes wisdom for a person to realize that he needs to spend time in conquering these enemies inside. All of you are pious souls who have come here today on this Ram Navami day. Let us learn from Dasharatha Maharaj that when you consider it as a waste of time when you visit a temple, when you learn and study Ramayana or Bhagavad Gita, when you spend some time to share holy names, you say, I have no time, I am so busy, I have to do this, I have to do that. I have to expand my income. I have to get this property there. I have to get this degree. I have to get so many things I have to do. But all the while we are suffering so much because of the six anarthas or six enemies inside. Is it really a waste of time to spend time in studying Ramayana? Is it really a waste of time to spend time in chanting the names of God? Is it really a waste of time to dedicate our time to such spiritual activities? Or is it the most wonderful time spent? According to Dasharatha Maharaj, it is the most important time. And therefore, he wants to leave his kingdom, responsibility, wants to give it to somebody else, and wants to take up time exclusively to actually deal with these six enemies. We don't have to leave everything, but we have to at least give some time in our life to actually conquer the six enemies inside. Most often, people suffer so much inside their own minds. Let me give you one example. There was this one person. Nowadays, a lot of cricket goes on, one after another, different championship matches keeps coming. Now there is IPL which has come, and people have, they don't have time to read Ramayana or Mahabharata or Gita, but they have all the time in their life to keep watching the matches for hours and hours and hours together. So one of the gentlemen in my story, which I'm going to tell, he was so much fan of Indian cricket that he was wanting to watch this cricket match. This is a true story, my dear friends, which I'm telling you, which happened some years ago. So this man he was going to his television, and this match was going on. The highlights, the prime time. The two teams are actually, battling on the cricket ground, and the scores is ticking. And he was just wanting to glue every single ball he wants to see. As it was going on the TV, the remote was kept inside, and a small kid of just 5 year old came in. And he said, Daddy, 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 come, come. I want to show you something. Come, Daddy, Daddy, I want to show you. I want to show you. Oh, match, match, match. For some time, the child remains there. After some, Daddy, 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 come, come. I want. You see, the child's intensity keeps increasing. First, it was denied. Second, because intense more. Match is going on. Hey, go inside, go inside. Go, 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 go inside. And come on, come on. After some time, I'm watching. Unfortunately, the mother was not there. She had gone somewhere outside. So this kid was with the father. The father was watching, glued to the match. And he was like, yeah, so, 5 year old kid. Oh, go, you play, you play. I'm watching, watching. And then the child became very angry. He took the remote. And he as he threw the remote on the television, it stopped. And the man became so angry. And then he started clicking the remote. Nothing is happening. I started punching the buttons on the television. Nothing is happening. Oh my God. He became so angry. He said, "Hey, you fool." He started slapping the child left, right, to the hair and then, what do you do? I said, what is your favorite? Tell me, show me. Where are you from? You have thrown this. Show me the right. And then he got a hammer from inside. He went inside. This is a true story. Huh? I'm telling you this true story. What happened some years ago? He brought a hammer from inside. He said, "Where is your hand? Show me, show me, show me." Where is your hand? And he started beating a small child, a baby 5 year old. His fingers. Oh, this is your hand, huh? Okay. The blood was coming out of his blood. You see, anger is one word short of danger. Anger is only one word short of danger. Yes or no? And this anger controls people. And when you tell them, "Sir, please spend some time. You can chant the names of God. You can read the scripture and conquer the enemies." What happened to this kid? His hand was bleeding. After a few minutes, when the wave of anger passed, he realized, what did he do? He said, he goes into the hospital. The doctor said, what did he do? He took the X-ray. All the finger bones were damaged. He said, we have to perform an operation, a surgery. I mean, we can't do anything. There's nothing we can fix it. And you know what happened? The child woke up next day after the operation. And he showed to his father. And there were no fingers on his hand. There were no fingers. And he showed to his father. Father, father, he said, my dear father, when will my fingers grow back again? Swallow your 5-year-old child. When will your fingers grow back again? The father was sobbing, sobbing, sobbing. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Running from the hospital back to his home and he committed suicide. This is a true story which happened. My dear friends, many times we just are so much busy in simply some material pursuits of trying to conquer something outside that we forget it is so important to conquer our things inside. When the scriptures like Ramayana are telling us this lesson, they are not telling us just for the sake of hearing. They are telling us so that we can learn and we can do something with this. Just like Dasharatha Maharaj, we must learn to spend time in spirituality, to go deep within, to conquer these devatas. Okay, let me continue. So therefore, Dasharatha Maharaj was speaking this. And as he was speaking, he was also wanting, just a king's role is like a father. So therefore, Dasharatha Maharaj, before continuing further in his speech, he started giving the gifts to all his ministers and saying, I want to give you a thank you for helping me to rule in the kingdom for so long. I want to give you some gifts. So he started giving some gifts to all of them. As he gave the gifts to all of them, so I request devotees can please hear. This katha will go for some time, but I feel that these pastimes are going to teach us something so beautiful. We are teaching you so many stories today. If you see, most of my class is only story after story after story, right? So if you want, it will be so wonderful. So what happened? Dasharatha Maharaj gave the gifts to all different ministers, and the ministers started, cheering up Dasharatha Maharaj by chanting his name, Dasharath, 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 Dasharath. Dasharatha Maharaj was used to hearing his own name in his own body so many times. He's a king. It wasn't the first time in life that his name was being chanted, Dasharatha, Dasharatha, Dasharatha. As he was now an old man, suddenly memory flashed on to his mind. And he started remembering that day when the first time in life somebody chanted Dasharatha, 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 Dasharatha. When was the day? That day was so many years ago. The Devatas had come to meet. He was very powerful king, very chivalrous, very righteous, and always wanted to support Dharma. So therefore, Devatas were not able to kill a particular Rakshasa called Sambhara, Sambharasur. So therefore, they wanted somebody to rule. And they came towards Nemi. They said, my dear King Nemi, could you please help us? They are not able to demon. But he is so powerful. Please come and help us in defeating this demon. And Nemi said, of course, I have defeated so many asuras earlier. It's not a very big deal with me. I'll surely come. Now Indra told to Nemi, don't be so proud of your power, Nemi. When you will face Sambharasur, you will not face down. You will face 10 Sambharasurs. Now Nemi was not able to understand what is the meaning of facing 10 Sambharasurs. How is it possible that one man can become 10, one Asura can become 10? And he thought that maybe he's just saying that, this Asura is very powerful. So therefore, okay, please sit down. You can sit down and hear the katha. You can, yeah. This will go on for next half an hour almost. After that, we'll be completing. So therefore, this Sambarasur, he was saying, okay, maybe Nemi just said, maybe he is so powerful, that is why Indra just told him this. He just ignored it. And he said, okay, let me be ready. And he went out for fighting. And he looked at his own charioteer. Who was the charioteer in this battle? None other than Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi, his own wife, was a charioteer. Nemi was sitting behind and he looked at his own charioteer, his own wife. And he felt so encouraged. Not only Nemi was fearless, but actually Kaikeyi was equally fearless. And they went on a mission. Mission Sambarasur, done by the Devatas. And they went and they started fighting. They challenged Sambara. Sambara came out. And Sambara was so powerful. Sambara thought, hey, this small human being, what is there, Manusya? All Devatas also fear me. What this Manusya can do? I'll just kill him in just a jiffy. And he started shooting some javelins and arrows. My God, this wasn't some ordinary human being. He was Navy. And so therefore, the powerful arrows of Navy were in the body of Sambarasura. And then he realized, oh, he wasn't somebody who was ordinary. And Sambara multiplied into three. And now the Sambarasuras are directly fighting with Navy. Navy's different limbs were being used from different directions. And Kaki was the one who saw that my husband is actually in some pain, doing difficulty. He has been caught unattended. He was not attended. He didn't realize that somebody can come from three directions simultaneously. So therefore, Kaki took hold of the Ratha and she immediately took up, ascended it up and saved the life of his own husband, her own husband. She addresses the wounds of Dashrath or of Nemi, and then and the Nemi is saying so gratefully, "Thank you so much for protecting me." But then seeing that he's been wounded, Kshatriya Nemi became even more angry, and he said, "No, I have to now somehow other kill this demon. Let's go back again. Let's finish what we started." So Kaikeyi and Nemi again went and started fighting. Sambrasur this time was very prepared. Instead of three, he became seven. And from seven directions, he was shooting arrows and javelins and all the things on Nemi. And Nemi is just fighting expertly in all the directions. And still, Sambrasur is not able to conquer. Now, from seven, he became king. And all directions, he was just covering over Nemi Maharaj. But Nemi Maharaj was so powerful. He was so adept. He was so quick. As if his arrow and the bow was seen in all the 10 directions simultaneously. But he was shooting so many arrows so powerfully that finally the Sambrasur died. And then from the top, the demigods who were seeing this entire battle started saying a word in the body of Nemi Maharaj. And that was Dasharatha. 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 Everybody was shouting, everyone was shouting, Dasharatha. 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 This was the first time somebody glorified Nemi Maharaj by speaking his word Dasharatha. Why was he called as Dasharatha? He was called as Dasharatha because he could fight in 10 directions simultaneously. Although he was sitting on one chariot, it was as if his chariot is there in all the 10 directions simultaneously. Dasharatha. 10, 10 directions and 10 chariots. As if he has got 10 chariots. Actually, he's sitting on only one. But he's moving so fast in all the 10 directions. That's why we, Indra and all the devatas being happy, they started speaking Dashrath, Dashrath. We got the name Dashrath. Nemi Maharaj from that day on became famous as Dashrath Maharaj. And then, of course, he fights many more battles later on. But this is how he came to be known as Dashrath. In the courtyard, when all the ministers were chanting, Dashrath, 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 this was probably the last time because he wanted to retire from his kingdom. So he recalled the incidents of the first time Dashrath was chanted. After speaking to all the ministers, he said, I want to reveal my mind to you. I want to retire and I want to place my son Ram on the throne. I will take your advice. Please give me your advice whether this is the right decision. And everybody simultaneously, with so much of great joy, they started saying, this is the best thing you can do. And Dasharatha Maharaj seeing the enthusiasm, he said, was I such a bad ruler that you all want me to take it? सर थोड़ा दिन और रुक जाओ 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 जल्दी जाओ go fast go on drama he said was it such a bad rumor so quickly and then all the ministers said sir Dasharatha Maharaj you have only one defect in you and what is the defect the defect is you have some light there is no parallel qualities if we have to compare So then we all want, although we get brother, but we all want the great Rama. Please rule this kingdom. And then therefore Dasharatha Maharaj realized that no, he was very glorious, but Rama is a great, was not him. He's actually Bhagavan. His quality was so all attractive. But everybody was wanting him to become the next king. Right. Unanimously, everybody accepts Rama. Yes, please coronate him immediately. And Dasharatha Maharaj with great happiness, he felt, okay, let's do this. And then he asked Vasishta, please find out the next Muhurata, the most auspicious Muhurata, immediately, whatever is the next one. And then Vasishta calculated his own, made his own calculations. He said, my dear Maharaj, I am finding all the different planetaries, calculations, astrological calculations, and I am seeing that the only auspicious day which coronation can be done is tomorrow. But when did you fast? Is it okay for you to do the coronation immediately next day? And Bishop Maharaj felt it's okay. Please remember, I told you two people who forgot to summon, and still these two people don't know about his decision. And in the beginning of the coronation, next day, the Shah totally forgets to invite these two people. One, Janak Maharaj, the father of Mother Sita, and second, the brother of Kaikeyi, Yuddhajit, who is the matron, and Bharat was basically staying with Yuddhajit, in his own kingdom. So he forgot, totally forgot in the home. And, so therefore, we want to know why is it that Rama became the goal to everybody, that everyone was unanimously wanting to make Rama the next king. So Ramayana speaks about the reason for Rama's wisdom. Something very beautiful. So although Rama is Bhagavan, but we still can learn some lesson how he acquired wisdom. This is very special, something to learn from. So Ramayana says that he was so wise because of three reasons. There were three reasons because of which he was wise. Let me share what are they. This is something to learn from. As I said, we have to learn from this whole episode given in Ramayana. The first reason that why he was so wise was because he made submissive inquiries. He learned submissively from number one, Vayovriddha. Vayovriddha. What is the meaning of Vayovriddha? Vayovriddha are those who possessed the wealth of age. See, in any particular profession, if you passed certain number of years, you actually gain a lot of insight into it. A medical doctor who has been in the profession for 25, 30, 40 long years has gained so much wisdom more than a textbook. Much more than all the textbook is his wisdom of the different surgeries and different experiences he got on the way. Nowadays, people are worried about the AI. Let me tell you a little relevantly. People are saying that many humans have become jobless. Huh? And they say AI is so fast progressing. It is nothing but simply a code, by the way. It is also trying to imitate the human behavior of learning, but it cannot get the experiences which a human gets. See, all of us are getting practical experience by doing some action. The AI is not having all those experiences. It only gets some intertwining of learning of some particular theoretical concepts. It doesn't get a practical experience of something, which all of us get. A mechanic who is repairing the cars for last 20 years is irreplaceable because his wisdom is so big. Just does not repair what the eye see, but what the eye does not see also. So therefore, AI can never replace the wisdom of a human. It is impossible. The problem is not too many people are wise. Why? Because they forgot the method of gaining wisdom. From Rama, we can understand how to gain wisdom. Wisdom which is irreplaceable by any AI at any point of time. Even thousands of years later, the AI cannot match this wisdom of humans. The problem is humans have lost their method to gain that wisdom. So today from Lord Rama, we are learning this. This is very relevant for you. This. The first source of gaining wisdom is Vayovriddha. Submissively inquire from those who are experts in their field, those who have passed so many years in their field. See, one of the things I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom is because I have submissively inquired from hundreds of teachers, experts in their field. This is one of the habits which I have. Anytime I meet an expert in any field, I will always make sure to go and meet them personally and talk to them, invest them some time, and learn from them. So many hours I've spent in this submissive inquiry. It's so important. In today's Kaliyuga, elderly people are not respected. But actually, those elderly people contain lots of wisdom, especially in the particular focus they are in. A woman at the age of 60 or 70, she has so much wisdom of the family life. If the newly married daughter-in-law who's come in the family can understand the method of winning wisdom, instead of showing false ego in the interaction, she will show submissiveness in the interaction. The best method to learn is not trial and error. The best method to learn is to submissively inquire from an expert in the field. Most people today in the Kaluga can be utilized by AI because they are doing the trial and error method. And in trial and error method, you will require a lot of time. And faster than that, the AI will learn. Whereas if we humans gain the wisdom from Ramayana, we use the actual method, which is submissive inquiry from the expert in the field. But this requires you to calm down your false ego, the ahankar, the enemy which we spoke in the last slide, that ahankar which is there inside, it does not allow us to become humble in front of an expert. That is what we'll have to control first. And if you can do so, then you can gain wisdom. But the second source of wisdom is Jnana Vriddha. So Jnana Vriddha is one who possesses the wealth of knowledge. Please know, there are many people who possess a lot of knowledge, but they may be quite young. It does not matter even if the person is young, if they possess a lot of knowledge in the field. Many times people are not able to learn from another person just because they think that he is a young person. I am an old person. How can this young person teach me? But actually, Shukdev Goswami, at the time of teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, sages, sages like Narada, Vyasa, all these big sages are sitting in front of this boy, Shukdev, and he was only 16 years old. Just 16 years old he was, but he had great knowledge with him. And that was all Srimad Bhagavatam. So therefore, knowledge is not learned merely by age. If somebody may be younger than you, but if you learn knowledge, you should not shy away to learn from them. This is a second secret, second method which we learn from Rama. So we learn from those who are Vayovriddha, and we also learn from those who are Jnana-vriddha. And there is third method of gaining wisdom, which is Shila-vriddha. Those who possess the wealth of character. But the three people we should have submissive inquiry from. These are the people who make you irreplaceable in this world. Right? And today in Kaluga, none of these three people are being respected. And so therefore, AI replaces all humans. Because humans have only one method of learning. That is what? Trial and error. Whereas in trial and error, the AI will be faster than the humans. But this method is only possible by a human being. Submissive inquiry to an expert, either Vayovriddha or Jnana-vriddha or the Shila-vriddha. This is the lesson. Rama, according to Ramayana, why was he so dear to everybody? Because of his submissiveness towards all these three. Okay. So then, of course, the pastime moves on. So I hope the lessons are relevant. I am learning from Lord Ram's character. There is two more lessons I have to teach and then we'll end. I hope this is very relevant and you can take some message back home. Yes? Okay. So then what happened further? Dasharatha Maharaj was in the hurry because Vasishtha said next day morning you have to coronate Rama. He forgot to invite Janak, forgot to invite Uttajit, the maternal uncle of Bharat. He also forgot to invite his own son, Bharat, who was inside in the kingdom of Uttajit. So in the hurry, he made some mistake. And this mistake is going to become very costly. You see, our scriptures have analyzed the characters of all the people in Ramayana. And one of the characters analyzed is Dasharatha Maharaj. Dasharatha Maharaj's intention was very good. Intention was very good. I wanted to retire timely. I wanted to place Rama on the throne. Perfect intention. But the way led to the disaster. And what was the disaster? Forgetfulness of something very critical. He did not that not inviting Janak. Well, in the ceremony, he could have intervened when the right time came, but he was not present. Mukherjee was not present, and so therefore purple became alarmed. The king not invited. Was the king having some ill intention? See, it isn't that Kaikeyi is supposed to be blamed entirely. Some portion of the blame has to go to Dasharatha also, or whatever happened. And the lesson of this for us is something very vital. Never make important decisions in your life and worry. This is the most important lesson for you. I have seen, because I am a counselor, I do spiritual counseling as well as professional counseling. And I have seen this. Which has messed up life of people is making decisions in hurry. A boy starts liking a girl and wants to just marry. And we can, wait, Baba, wait. I don't understand. Analyze. Is she going to be perfect for you? Is she going to be the right match for you? अरे चेक कर बैकग्राउंड नहीं नहीं हम तो बस लव में आ गए बस प्रेम अनुभव होता है right blind so the person doesn't want to see anything in the background the girls also don't want to see anything in the background of the and so therefore love in the first sight divorce in the first fight. So this is what the problem is. Because people make decisions in financial decisions. So many people I've seen, at least 70% people, I have seen that they make so poor financial decisions. Such poor. Because somebody told them invest here, stock is going to go up in the sky. Next day only, or he put so much of his money in gold, and next day something else happens. अरे बाबा थोड़ा एनालाइज करना सीखो अरे have some patience एनालाइज प्रॉपर्ली बिफोर इन्वेस्टिंग योर own money इतना मेहनत करके कमाया था भाई इसको इन्वेस्ट करने से पहले सोचो so many people come in alluding to you this is the last opportunity if you don't do this will happen this will happen somebody tells you sir if you invest your money you are this is fine then think also any decision made sorry in the future. Dasharatha Maharaj was at fault. Always intention was very good. But to make a mistake. How can you forget these two so important people? They are his own relatives. Somebody. Correct or not? Yes. The father of Sita, how can you forget? His own wife, how can you forget? If you forget, I'm willing to pay the price. You see, when you make a mistake, the people, those who are near to you, have got one opportunity of your mistake. The council of Kaikai. Actually, she was at the time of marriage of Kaikai, Mantra had come along. Mantra had come along. She was actually servant of Kaikai before marriage also. And so therefore Kaikai had a lot of trust on Mantra because she was an old servant. Even before her marriage, she was with Kaikai and she came along. She was very loyal to Kaikai, but her one problem was that she was envious of other co-wives of Kaikai. And she had this problem of imagining so many things. So therefore, the talk of the time was, now coronation of Rama is happening, but Dasharatha has not invited Kaikai's brother. Then you have to talk. They will talk, they will make a small mistake. Just one small mistake and it became the talk of the town. Kaikai comes in front of, Mantra comes in front of Kaikai and says, why, the way of politics. Let me teach you some politics today. Something happening. What is happening? Like I said, what is happening? Mantra, tell me, what is happening? Because became so happy. She took out the one necklace and she gave it to Mantra. Mantra, you are giving such a good news. Rama is the oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, poor baby, you are so simple. You just don't understand anything. Rama becoming becomes Rajamata. And he became the main servant of Kaushalya. So somebody says, I can tell you something. You have told me everything for your benefit. Whatever I small is only for your benefit. By the way, must be invited for this coronation ceremony. Dashrath was not invited. Son why? Kaito is thinking, why? The king is not even so. I'm having the coronation of Rama from you, Mantra. But why are you doing something like this? Are you purple? This is how the things behave. Don't expect importance. That is why he is not coming. Are you doing anything? Because he is afraid that the kingdom lies back and kingdom will choose what Maharaj instead of Rama. Because Rama is so if that comes to the coronation, Dashrath must be afraid that the kingdom, the public will choose God. That is why he was not coming back. But Dashrath is fearful of your son. It's fearful that when that comes here, start gathering the public and revolt against Rama. How can they person lying politics Rama? The country was becoming extremist. She was thinking, of course, seems like there's something wrong. But how do you know the ship is doing like this? And then Kaita said, Mantra said, okay, there's still one more becoming. We can do something. Don't just wait. I will tell you something to do. Tell me something to suffer. I will suffer. Remember, remember what the ship Maharaj so yeah, long before I remember, but Dasharatha had granted me two wounds. Supposed to be study. Should I ask Mantra? We must ask as the first boon that Bharat should become the king of Ayodhya. Wow, that's going to be so good. Becoming the king. Yes, yes, of course, of course. Should I ask for the second boon? For the second boon, you should ask that Ram should be sent to Vanavas for 14 years. Right? Why is it guidance? Send Rama. Rama is so wonderful. He's always submissive to me. You accept Bharat. Arre, Kaukav, you if Ram remains in the kingdom, there is a danger to your son. If Bharat becomes the king, Ram will come in between. And when you start politicizing, when you start fractioning out the people, and you revolt and shadow, understand, come some way. Don't remain simple. Take advice from me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what happened to Kaikeyi? Kaikeyi is so dear, so much is getting spoiled by the bad association. My dear devotees, all of us are very simple people, but we become stupid when we get bad association. The first principle of life is never keep bad people in your company. What is the meaning of bad company? Those who speak only about others, those who manufacture fault in others, those who keep speaking negative things about others are your enemies. If they can speak negative of others in front of you, they can also speak your negatives in front of others. Please know these people are in disguise as a friend. You know, they are disguising as a friend, but actually they are your worst enemies. We must make friendships with those who are devotees of God, those who don't speak ill about others. Rather, they always speak good about you and the others. Mantra was manufacturing faults where there were no faults actually. Dasharatha had made a simple mistake, and the best thing would have been that Kaikeyi goes in front of Dasharatha and asks Dasharatha Maharaj, "Why did you forget my brother? Just tell me the reason. That's all." And everything would be known to her. Whereas the crooked ones, it's imagine the Dasharatha is wrong, Rama is wrong, Kaushalya is wrong, everybody is wrong, other than myself. This is how the crooked people actually make you bad. If you have such company around you, you should know these are the worst people who will drag you down in life. They will become the source of misery in your life for eternity. And one went to quote the one. Dasharatha was rejoicing. He was busy in all preparations. All the went past. In the night, someone calls him. Kaikeyi is calling you. And someone became to Kaikeyi. I thought somebody must have already informed. Let me go and inform Kaikeyi, my dear queen. But where did you have to go to meet Kaikeyi? It was not in her palace. Kaikeyi was in her court divan. So Dasharatha Maharaj wishes and goes to the court divan and said, "Oh, Kaikeyi, what happened? Why are you so sad? Why are you so upset? Did I do something wrong?" I said, "No, no, no, my dear king. Don't speak all these good things. You know, actually, you always doing something wrong for me. If somebody needs something, that's my dear king. The kingdom that you have given me, once earlier, that will be remembered. See, anything to do. Even tomorrow, we will turn into Rama as the king. And when that happens, I give everything. So ask your lady, everything today is yours." I can say to Dasharatha, please remember your words. You have told me that you will give me everything. Are you sure about it? Not go back on your words. Are you sure? I am so happy with your Kaikeyi. Yes. You ask me, I will give you. And then Kaikeyi said, "With my words, yes, yes." You see, Ramayana gives us a lesson here. I am just fast forwarding now, just completing the lessons for you. Ramayana gives a lesson. Never miss anything in conditions of life. One, when you are in What is? When you are growing confidence, never promise anything to anybody. Why? Because most likely you are making a mistake. Or second time, never promise anything to anybody when you are in great sorrow. Times where intelligence starts working, but emotions overpower you. And so therefore Shastra's advice, that's your second mistake. First mistake you already saw. Second mistake, when he was happy, started promising. You see, when you are so happy or so miserable, never make a promise to anybody. Tell them, wait, I will come back to you after some time. Dasharatha could have said, let the ceremony get over. After that, I'll give you whatever boons you ask me. I'm not in the right frame of mind to be able to decide something. Make decisions. When you are too happy, when you are too happy. This was a great lesson. Second mistake of Dasharatha Maharaj. Fast forwarding, of course, Keke then before Dasharatha Maharaj was crying, don't do this. It's okay. You can go to the king. No problem. Rama is not so much greedy of the king. Now, son was. There's a long conversation I did about this. If I get into that, it will take time. So let me not get into that. A long conversation is there. What he speaks. Dasharatha speaks so many times to Kaikeyi to persuade her, to give up her, asking of these two boons. But Kaikeyi was so stubborn. See, this is the problem with women. They can be as soft as butter. Very soft-hearted. Women can become extremely soft-hearted. They can be sacrificing their everything for the sake of their family and others whom they love. But the second problem with the woman is they can become as hard as thunderbolt. As hard as thunderbolt. And that is what Kaikeyi is becoming. Ramayana describes that the difficult character of Kaikeyi was only to be equated to Yamaraj. It was as if Yamaraj had come inside Kaikeyi that. But she was so cruel, hard-hearted. Her husband is crying. She was saying, she cannot do anything. Just don't ask Rama to go to the forest. But she's not listening. Absolutely. She's done. It says, call Ram now, or otherwise, you are going against your own words. You gave me as a promise. Raghukur सदा चले आई प्राण जाई पर वचन न जाई. Okay, so you want to go against your own words? This is what you want to do today? All right. And the king said, no, no, no. I can't do that. Send Rama away. Decide what you want. Rama was called. Sumantra went. Rama was speaking with Sita and Lakshman at that time. But again, that is a conversation. I don't want to get into that. There are very much wonderful lessons in all these parts of the Ramayana. So when they brings Ram inside the palace, and Rama is surprised. Why is it? Why Kaikeyi is giving up her own jewelries, etc. Why is she crying? She immediately goes and touches the feet of her mother and says, "My dear mother, why is it that you are crying like this? Why is it that you are in such a condition? What happened if I make some mistake? Tell me, I can do anything for you. You know, I'm here to solve all your difficulties. How can you solve this difficulty? Tell me, what can I do for you?" And why is the father lamenting so much? Kaikeyi said, well, your father is in so much of anxiety and distress because he's not sure that he will follow his words. I'm not sure about it. What, my dear mother? I promise you, I will definitely do whatever my father says. Even if my father says, give up my life, I will do it immediately. Then, mother, ask me, what is the father saying? Your father wants you, wants that instead of you should become the king. Rama was so happy, of course, mother, but so happy. I was in fact thinking that why will you make the king? If why will you make the king? I was so happy, yes, my dear mother. I will be attending the coronation ceremony of my baby Rama, Bharat, tomorrow. I will be so happy. Is this the only thing which my father wants? Why is it that he is not easy? It does not know, but I will always follow the words of my father. I will to be so much anxious about it. The second instruction also which he wants to give. What is that? He wants you morning to the forest. Exactly, you should go. 14 long years you will live as a hermit in the forest. He said, my dear mother, you perhaps are not aware about my nature. In the last so many years of interaction with you, my dear Katie mother, you have never come to know anything about me. I have failed to gain your trust, mother. Don't you know? My mind is not at all in the kingdom. I always wanted to learn from the sages who live in the forest, but I have never been able to do so. This instruction of my father, I actually happily accepted as a blessing. I will be willing to go and stay in the forest to learn from these sages. Remember why Ram was so wise? Why Ram was so wise? He always was eager to learn from these three people. What are they? Vaya Jnana Vriddha, Shiva Vriddha. He said, my dear mother, I will be so happy to learn the wisdom from the sages in the forest. Of course I will go. Just allow me to attend the coronation ceremony of my brother Bharat. I want to rejoice in that. And then immediately after that I will leave. Like I said, hurry up. Your father will not take all the time from this kingdom. Go pretty shortly. Ram said, okay, my dear mother, I will leave. Please give me some time to go and console my dear mother Kaushalya and to meet my wife Sita. Please allow me just some time to meet them and console them. After that, immediately I will leave from this kingdom. Rama goes and meets Kaushalya. So, of course, Lord Ram's response we spoke. Then he goes and meets Kaushalya and Sita. I think I should. There is a long lesson here, but I'll just, in part three lines, I'll just conclude here. So therefore, Kaushalya was sitting and worshipping Ranganath, the family deeper. She was happy that her son is going to become the king next day. And when Rama comes, she anoints his forehead with a pipe and he gives him a garland and makes him sit. I said, my dear son, tomorrow you are going to become the king. And the last day that I can feed you as a mother. Because from tomorrow, you will be the king first and my son second. I won't be allowed to serve you as intimately as I am doing today. So please sit in front of me. And I have by my own hands prepared so many different varieties of food. I want to feed you this one last time before you become the king next day. And Rama said, my dear mother, I want to tell you that my dear father has given me such a wonderful mission in my life. And I'm so happy to tell you that I'm able to accept the responsibility he has given me. Kaushalya thought that he's talking about becoming a king. Of course, Ram, tomorrow you're going to become the king of India. He said, my dear mother, I don't want to attend the coronation ceremony tomorrow. Oh, Ram, why are you speaking like this? Why do you say, of course, you're going to become right the king? Yes, dear mother, our father has given me a much higher mission. He won't say, but I learn from the different sages. And so therefore, this morning, immediately I'm leaving to the forest for 40 years and I live there as a hermit. And she was like, what? And of course, she was crying tears as a mother. She understood that this is the plot of Kaikai. And then she tried to persuade that don't go this is not correct. It's not your father's wish. It is the evil-minded Kaikai which is doing. And then, of course, Rama says, God, for me, the kingdom is not important. What is important is my father's word. If he is already promised, then I will do anything for him. So, my dear mother, just allow me to go. So, reluctantly, Kaushalya agrees. But when it comes to Sita, Sita was not ready. Sita said, Nath, you married me. And at the time of marriage, I have taken a vow that I will always be beside you, no matter what situation of life you are in. My vow was so small that my father did not train me properly, that he did not learn the articles properly, that I am so aware that when you are going to forest that I will not come with you. Oh, Ram, how can you do this? is much more important than to stay in this palace. Rama tried to dissuade Sita's determination to go to forest in so many ways. One of the reasons he says that as I go to forest, somebody should take care of Kaushalya. Because I know for sure that if Kaikai Mata can today remove me from the palace, tomorrow what she will do with Kaushalya, I am worried. Sita, stay back and take care of your mother Kaushalya. He says, a wife's param duty, wife's duty is to serve her husband. It is not anything else. So therefore, my dharma is he besides you. Rama, the most now. How can you begin and just relish the kingdom, the contents of the kingdom? As far as Kausalya is concerned, there are so many other people who are there in the kingdom to help her. They will be taking care of Kausalya. But as far as her, there is no ability. So therefore, I will come with you. God does not allow you. And no, this is the only incident in Ramayana when Sita becomes angry at Ram. Okay, this is the incident. After so much of persuasion, Rama still is saying, no, I don't want you to come. I am not giving you permission. You should stay back here. You are coming from a dynasty of the kings. It's my duty as a husband to always protect you. How will I protect you in the forest? Do you know there's so many rakshasas, there's so many ferocious animals. You cannot sleep on this grass, etc. I cannot give you any comforts. I have taken the vow to always give you comforts. I can't do that. You must stay in the kingdom. And of course, this, when Sita became hungry, and the only time she uses the of her husband directly, this is Ram. This is the only time she uses in the entire Ramayana. Direct address of Ram. She speaks the word Ram. Hey Ram, please do not do this with me. This. Actually, died today. This is the only thing which I can say to you. Then Ram reluctantly, of course, agrees and she also accompanies. And of course, later further what happens is Lakshman also persuades and Lakshman also somehow other makes Rama agree and then Lakshman, Sita and Rama go to the forest next day. Dear devotees, there are so many things which we can learn from Ramayana. But let me now summarize something which a message of the day should be. On Ram Navami day, let us take home some messages. So much from Ram's character, from Sita's character, and you also learn what you should not do from Dasharatha's character and Kaikai's character. But what is the take home message? The take home message for all of us is we should spend time on cultivating spiritual knowledge and inner virtues. If we don't cultivate the spiritual knowledge and inner virtues, the enemies within us will not allow us to remain happy. So choice is yours. What Ramayana teaches us is spend time. You see, time is the greatest investment in the human form of life. It's not money which is the greatest investment. It is the time. Even the Manushya Yoni was actually given to do this. But we become busy in so many things. But I urge you, my devotees, please think about this. Cultivate spiritual knowledge. Spend time for this. It requires time. It's not going to happen here by wish. Just by watching a TV serial Ramayana, you are not going to get something much. Just learn the Ramayana, learn the Shastras from a bona fide guru. That is what is necessary in the human form of life. And the second thing is the talent which today's world talks about can actually only bring you to the bridge of success. But the attitude which Rama had to cross the bridge of success. However, the character is the only thing which can sustain your success. Start valuing character higher than talent. So much time people want to spend for learning skills. But when it comes to learn character, oh my God, no time. So therefore, you should know the only material success which can sustain your success is your character. And therefore, investing in that is never a waste of time. So I propose two things to you on this Ram Navami. My invitations to you for all of you sitting over here. Sitting to me, the last message which I'm giving you, we can do good to Lord for Lord Rama. Rama came from the spiritual world to the material world because of this corona. And so therefore on Ram Navami you can take two steps in your life towards Lord Ram. What is the first step? Attend our weekly course. The RISE course, Raise Your SQ. We have a weekly course running in this place. This place is called as Bhakti Center. Where every Sunday evening we are giving programs on Bhagavad Gita. You can come and learn this. We do not charge any single rupee for giving knowledge. There is no charge for giving knowledge. Please remember. You are not taking any fees, but you must give me some fees and then you will be attending the course. Raise your SQ, which is based on Bhagavad Gita. Not at all. Please kindly join us in this journey of learning from the scriptures like Ramayana. And please note that our teaching is not something boring. You have attended something today. Hopefully, you find something good. But there are so many stories that we can learn from. It's not like some theoretical class. So please come and attend. It will be good. This is the first step you can take. Spend time in learning spiritual knowledge. It requires commitment from you. Come and attend our weekly class. And the second thing you can do is you can chant the holy names of God. Chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Chant this after me. Hare Krishna, everyone. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama. Since we do not understand, but at least can we chant for 8 or 10 times together? Is it possible? Can I make this? It's not very difficult. Some 8, 10 times only. Okay, so please repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Ask 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Krishna. So this is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which you can be chanting every day. So there will be some beads, there are some bookstalls, beads, etc. Information about which that we will just present in some announcements. So therefore, please, as you go from here, 2 things you can do. You can take a mala. And maybe it's just how much? 10 rupees, 20 rupees, just one mala. You can take, chant every day. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 2 minutes, 2 minutes a day. Just a small thing for Lord Rama's pleasure. When you come in the birthday, you get a good person. Rama's birthday is there. He is giving the small gift. A small gift that I daily will chant 10 minutes your names. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all. What a wonderful gift it will be. Just 10 minutes you offer to Krishna. Rama, please, for you, I will chant 10 minutes. Please give him this gift. Who's the birthday boy today? Correct? So you should be giving him this gift. And the second gift is, weekly once come and attend some message which Lord Rama wants us to learn. In the Ramayana, in the Bhagavad Gita, he has given us wonderful lessons which are also good for our life. So please come and attend. This is my request to you all. Thank you so much and wish you a very, very auspicious and happy Ram Navami. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, sir, for such a wonderful Ram Katha on this auspicious occasion of Sri Ram Navami. Let's all express our heartfelt gratitude, sir, to our dear Amal, sir, with a huge round of applause,
Hare
please.
Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much. Grateful, grateful for your presence.